Week 7 is officially in the books, and as always, we love to bring you our top waiver wire picks of each week. This week, we're going into week 8, and if you didn't win in week 7, hopefully you still have an opportunity to get back into the race, do what you have to do. And if you did win, hey, kudos to you. You're doing something great in the league, guys. As always, we love to say, make sure you drop a like, you subscribe. We're going to be doing this every single week until the end of the week. Right before we get into the video, some honorable mentions. Juwan Johnson, available in 95% of leagues, had over 20 fantasy points, maybe not relevant or not consistent, excuse me. Pick him up, see what happens. Matt Breida, available in 56% of leagues. Saquon's shoulder is looking like questionable. I wonder if they're going to hold him back going into next week, and then maybe Matt Breida gets some work. Pick him up just in case to see what happens. Evan Ingram, the ex-Giant, available in 55% of leagues. Have 4 out of 7 catches, over 10 fantasy points. Pick him up if you need a tight end. And also Harrison Bryant, excuse me, for the Cleveland Browns, available in 98% of leagues. And David Njoku, you know, walked out with a high, I think it could be a high ankle sprain, not confirmed as of yet right now, but he was seen walking with the boot. He could miss some time. Harrison Bryant could be getting some more opportunities. Let's get straight into the waiver wires. And at number 10, we have Taylor Heineke for the Washington Commanders, available in 88% of leagues right now. He kind of did his thing against the Green Bay Packers. No one would have expected that. This is more if you are in a super flex league, if you need a quarterback plug and play type of guy. I think Taylor Heineke could be a good fill-in role for you right now. Threw 2 touchdowns, 1 interception, over 19 fantasy points. If you need a guy that can get you 15 plus, I think Taylor Heineke could be that guy. You know, warning, he could get you, 5 plus or less. 5 points or less as well. So keep that in mind. That's why he's number 10. Specifically, if you do need a quarterback in a super flex league, go get Taylor Heineke. And at number 9, we have Parris Campbell from the Indianapolis Colts, available in 89% of leagues right now. He's been going off the past couple weeks. Week 6, caught 7 out of 11 targets, over 18 fantasy points and a touchdown. Week 7, caught 10 out of 12 targets and a touchdown, over 23 fantasy points. He's getting on a little stride here, maybe getting some more opportunities, getting the opportunity with Matt Ryan as well. Maybe Matt Ryan is trusting him a little bit more. If he's on your waiver wires, which he should be, available in 89% of leagues, pick him up, stash him, see what's going to happen, especially with the bye weeks coming up. A lot of key players, Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, all going to be on bye. If you need a plug and play in the flex opportunity, pick up Parris Campbell. Let's go back to the quarterback position. Remember, this is purely if you are in a super flex league, or maybe one of your star quarterbacks is struggling, like a Tom Brady, like a Russell Wilson. Daniel Jones, you can pick him up right now, available in 60% of leagues. You saw what he did this past week against the Jags. Over 30 fantasy points. He threw for 200 and a touchdown and ran for 100. Daniel Jones is doing his thing right now, and maybe it may sound biased as a Giants fan, but see if there's an opportunity for you to pick him up if you are in a super flex league and you do need a quarterback, or maybe if you're one quarterback league and you like the matchup. He is playing the Seattle Seahawks next week, and I think it could be a good matchup for Daniel Jones. And at number 7, we have Marquise Goodwin for the Seattle Seahawks, available in 100% of leagues right now. And he did his thing this past week, caught 4 out of 5 targets for 67 yards, 2 touchdowns, over 22 fantasy points. Look, first of all, Geno is cooking. That is something that we all need to agree on right now. Number 2, DK Metcalf is hurt. What's the severity of his injury? I'm not sure. There's a lot of people saying that it could be a torn ACL or a knee injury, and something he could have, tweaked something in his knee. He could be missing a couple weeks. That is not confirmed as of yet, because I'm recording this before or right after the Sunday night games, excuse me. So I would definitely take that into consideration. Wait and see maybe what happens with DK, but it looks like Marquise Goodwin could be the next guy up. Once again, available in every single league according to Sleeper, available in 100% of leagues. Go and pick him up right now. He can be a good plug and play option if you do need a wide receiver. And at number 6, let's go back to my beloved Giants, Wan'Dale Robinson. He was on the list last week, I'm pretty sure. Available in 56% of leagues. He's still out there, guys, and I think the fact that he's still available in 56% of leagues speaks a lot. This past 2 weeks, Week 6 against Baltimore, caught 3 out of 4 and a touchdown for over 12 fantasy points. Week 7, getting more opportunity and targets, caught 6 out of 8 targets of 50 yards, over 11 fantasy points. Look, each week Brian Dable and Daniel Jones is going to start trusting Wandale. He was always the package, the idea, the thought process for them to be the star wide receiver in their mind. And, you know, you got to trust the process. He's been really great. He's been jittery. You know, Daniel Jones didn't miss a touchdown to Wandale in the end zone. So that would have been an even different conversation if he did, you know, throw that ball to Wandale and didn't miss that. Look, pick up Wandale. I think this is a good flex option week in and week out. I think one of the most guaranteed great flex options moving forward potentially. And also they're starting to open up the playbook. They're starting to throw the ball more. They need to throw the ball more because Saquon Barkley can't carry it. People are starting to stack the box and his shoulder is starting to hurt, so they can't give it to him all the time. Pick up Wan'Dale Robinson. I think will be a great fit for you guys. And at number 5, I have a bonus for you actually, so stay tuned at the end of the number 5 state. Khalif Raymond, available in 99% of leagues currently right now. And this past week, caught 5 out of 6 targets for 75 yards, over 14 fantasy points. Amon-Ra did go down, but no one expected Khalif to be the guy. Everyone expected Josh Reynolds to be the guy, and that's also my bonus guy. Josh Reynolds, available in 53% of leagues. He wasn't utilized as much, but usually when, you know, Amon-Ra goes down, it's Khalif. We saw that, it's Josh Reynolds, and we saw that in weeks 2 to 5, where there was people that were missing when DJ Chark was out. You know, when Amon-Ra missed sometimes, you know, week 2, 12 points, week 3, 15, week 4, 21, week 5, 15. And then, you know, in week 7, he just wasn't targeted because I think the defense for the Cowboys kind of knew that that's who they want to shift to. So then Khalif Raymond was the guy. Look, I think both of these guys are good pickups. If they are available in your leagues, maybe you can stash both of them. I'm not going to spend too much fab, but if Amon-Ra is going to miss some time with a concussion, I think the concussion protocol has changed, so it doesn't always feel like they're going to come back in week 1. They could, or not in a week, excuse me. It might be 2 weeks. So maybe Khalif and Josh Reynolds could potentially be guys to pick up in week 8. And at number 4, we have Josh Palmer, available in 67% of leagues. He was out with concussion in week 7 against the Seattle Seahawks, and they do have a bye in week 8. But coming back in week 9, they play in the Atlanta Falcons, and Mike Williams, in one of the last plays, looks like he might have suffered a high ankle sprain. What's the severity of that injury? We're not sure as of yet. Reports have not come out, but I do expect him to miss maybe 2 to 4 weeks. If he does come back sooner than that, that's fantastic, and that's great for, you know, Mike Williams owners. But right now, Josh Palmer, available in 67% of leagues. But also, if Josh Palmer is not back for some reason by week 9, DeAndre Carter is another guy that could pick up, available in 91% of leagues. He went 3 for 7 for over 6 fantasy points. It wasn't amazing. They did struggle, this Chargers offense. But if Josh Palmer's not ready, DeAndre Carter could be the next guy up. So pick up both of these guys. Once again, Josh Palmer available in 67% of leagues. DeAndre Carter available in 91% of leagues. They do have a bye week, so maybe you could hold out and maybe play the wait game with both of these guys. But I think Josh Palmer could potentially be a massive pickup if Mike Williams misses a significant amount of time. And at number 3, another bonus, D'Onta Foreman, available in 37% of leagues. Foreman did his thing this past week against the Bucs. First of all, shout out to the Panthers. No one thought that they were going to beat the Bucs. That's crazy. Tom Brady lost 3 in a row. Ran for 15 for 118 yards, which is crazy. Over 16 fantasy points. Another bonus, and here's where the bonus comes in. Chuba Hubbard ran 9 for 63 and a touchdown, over 15 fantasy points. It's clearly this is a running back by committee, it feels like. I think both D'Onta Foreman and Chuba Hubbard are both worth rostering because it could be any week. It could be the hot hand, and that's exactly what's going to happen. Keep in mind, Chuba Hubbard did go out with an ankle injury, but according to reports right now, it says x-rays doesn't seem to be serious. He could be back coming right into week 8. So keep that in mind. But D'Onta Foreman and Chuba Hubbard both feel like they're going 50-50 in this backfield, and I love the opportunity for both of these guys moving forward. Once again, Foreman available in 37% of leagues, Chuba Hubbard available in 52% of leagues. I am definitely picking up either one of them. And at number 2, we have Gus the Bus Edwards, available in 61% of leagues this past week against the Cleveland Browns. Ran 16 times, 66 yards, and 2 touchdowns, over 18 fantasy points. Look, shout out to Gus. Tore his ACL, had a bad injury. Now he's back. He came in, looked very explosive in my opinion. He was running through the big gaping hole. Shout out to Pat McAfee if you know what that is. But yes, Gus Edwards did his thing. He is the next best thing right now. J.K. Dobbins out 4 to 6 weeks. I do believe Gus Edwards is going to be the lead back in this backfield. I'm picking him up and filling him in my flex if I do need to get Gus Edwards. And at number 1, a moment of silence for the Breece Hall owners. It's unfortunate for Breece Hall, and he was having a tremendous game. He was having a tremendous season. Just a reminder, right before Breece Hall's injury, only 4 carries for 72 yards and a touchdown, over 13 fantasy points. He was doing his thing, Breece Hall, and then he goes down with that knee injury. Is not confirmed from when I'm recording this, but everyone saying is pointing to an ACL tear, which is very disappointing for all fantasy owners in redraft, especially for fantasy owners in Dynasty. But obviously the next guy up is Michael Carter. He's only available in 34% of leagues, but I think it's pretty obvious that you need to go pick him up if he is available in any of your leagues. Michael Carter is the next guy up. We saw what he did this past year. You know, he was the main guy before anything. Before they drafted Breece Hall, This past week, 13 carries, 29 yards, caught 2 out of 2 passes in the air. Look, this offense is not going to be the same with Breece Hall. I think we're going to see a tremendous shift in the way things are happening. We were saying this before Breece Hall went down. This is a run-first offense, not a pass-first offense anymore. You know, they were looking for a run game last year. They found it this year, but then they lost the passing game, you know, with Zach Milson and, you know, Joe Flacco, et cetera, et cetera. Now Elijah Moore sitting out. Garrett Wilson is barely getting any targets. It's being very, very annoying. You know who had the most receiving yards in the air for this team? It was Michael Carter. To say that Michael Carter had the most receiving yards in the air for this team, in my opinion, is ridiculous, meaning that they don't know how to pass the ball. And maybe Zach Wilson is not the answer, but Michael Carter, in my opinion, is going to be a must start, a low-end RB2. And maybe if he can find his stride, it's going to be a tough one against New England and then Buffalo. But they're going to have to figure out something, some dumb passes. We all know what's going to happen. Michael Carter is going to pass the ball out of the air. Once again, led this in the team in receiving yards with 45 yards out of Elijah Moore, which didn't play, Garrett Wilson, Tyler Conklin, Corey Davis, Denzel Mims. I mean, what else are they gonna do? Just a bunch of dump off passes for Michael Carter, guys. Once again, available in 34% of leagues. A couple of tough matchups. As always, we like to say we appreciate you. Thank you for coming through. Make sure you drop a like. These are our top 10 waiver wires of the week. Let us know if you have any comments or questions down below. And we go live 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time each and every week on a Saturday, answering all your fantasy start-sit questions. Come through, say what's up. Once again, we appreciate each and every one of you. And stay in there. Grind it out. Good luck. Still some time to turn things around week 8. Good luck.
Yo, what's good? Thanks for watching. We got a lot more videos.
A lot more.
If you want more videos,
watch it.
You can also subscribe
right now
if you want to.
You need to.
And lastly, don't forget that you can sign up to support the show and get exclusive content by going to patreon.com/FantasyLand fam.